Why real change means real feelings. We've reached that part of the zodiac that is the Cancer moon, the sensitivity, the time when we feel things. We just feel, right? We're sensitized, we're vulnerable, we're changing. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Monday, February 19th. And I've been talking about change a lot lately. So, a lot of Aquarian energy. Pluto now in early Aquarius since January 20th. So, just about a month, almost a month now of having Pluto in Aquarius. We also had several of the faster moving inner planets entering Aquarius, activating that Plutonian energy, not letting us forget that we are in a change process. So Pluto is one kind of change, Aquarius is another kind of change. You put them together and you have a lot of change. Plus the inner planets moving through, activating it, bringing it into our everyday lives, saying, okay, you got to think about this. And the things show up in our circumstances, whether it's events that happen in our lives or things that we feel, things that are unfolding that might be a little bit more intangible, like in our relationships, the way things are evolving. But either way, or it could be an inner, like a personal development process, right? Where we're learning something about ourselves. But either way, we have that movement showing up in our daily lives that activates the feeling of change, the process of transformation. Okay, so I mentioned that we have two kinds of change, right? So let's talk quickly about that, and then we'll talk about the Cancer moon, Pisces Sun, the water energy, and how that shows up for us as we have this real daily mood of the moon going through Cancer. Okay, so the two kinds of change are Pluto, which is transformation from the ground up. So Pluto is about dissolving the old form, the old identity, the old way of being, and creating space for that rebirth process. So it is the caterpillar going into the cocoon, where the caterpillar literally dissolves into liquid before reforming into a butterfly and emerging from the cocoon with its new sense of self and its new abilities, right? It can fly. So that's the Pluto energy. It is the energy of the snake shedding its skin to grow, to continue on its evolutionary path to become something new. It is the process of metaphorical, symbolic death, rebirth. Sometimes that shows up literally as well, but for the most part, we're talking about the symbolic um, uh, feeling of death and rebirth in our lives. So, what we're letting go of, what we're releasing, what old sense of self is we're releasing so that we can emerge as something new. So there's definitely this deeper process of transformation. Pluto moves very slowly, as we've talked about. It will be in Aquarius for 20 years, 20. So that means we're not going to change overnight. It means we are changing slowly, slowly at our essence. So at the end of this 20-year period, we will no longer remember. I mean, we might, but right, there's that sense of things being so different by the end of it that we can't really recreate the old ways we used to live. And that's a slow, deep, thorough transformation process. Then you put Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign of change in terms of earthquakes, lightning bolts, shakeup, disruption, things changing suddenly, unexpected developments. So we have transformation in this area of how we bring about change. So Aquarius is also about rebellion, revolution, shifting the status quo, imagining new futures, stepping into new possibilities. So we've talked about a lot of that here. I will continue to talk about it as we go through this process. But for today, so that's our background, right? Pluto and Aquarius. We also have, of course, Mars and Venus in Aquarius, as well as Mercury. And so Mercury by the end of the week will be going into Pisces, but Venus and Mars can form their conjunction this week and continue through Aquarius. So in other words, those faster moving planets also bringing in this daily vibe of shakeup and change, of things emerging in our consciousness, emerging in our reality, things showing up that we did not expect. And the way that we have to shift our thinking, to shift our approaches, perhaps to wrap our minds around what is changing. It will not always feel this unstable going through Pluto in Aquarius. So some of you might be wondering, I don't know if I can live through this 20 years of this, right? Right now it's extra shifty and changey because of those faster moving inner planets also going through Aquarius. So there is balance to this Pluto in Aquarius. It just means that Pluto in Aquarius is the background energy. Like I've said, it's the soup we're swimming in. And then we have the other planets moving through all the signs, bringing balance to our lives, taking us through the cycles of all the different parts of our wholeness that we are working on and developing that can balance out that Aquarian energy. So one of those things that is balancing us today is the Cancer moon. So the sun is now in Pisces, went into Pisces Sunday night, and both the sun and moon shifted into water signs. I highly recommend yesterday's video from Sunday, February 18th on self-care forecast for the week to get an overview of this bigger picture and what it felt like over the weekend with the sun and moon in air signs, and then how that is changing as we shift into both the sun and the moon going into water signs within a few hours of each other. So today we have that water energy. So how does that bring balance? It is taking us into the feeling part of the process of change. So I will use an analogy that I've used many times here. If you're a longtime follower, you've heard this before. Cancer moon, the Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon rules Cancer. Cancer and the moon are very similar energies, qualities. They have to do with caring, with nurturing, with mothering, with feelings, with emotions. It is the soft, sensitive, vulnerable parts of ourselves. So if you can imagine a child, a baby, sensitive, vulnerable, needs protection, right? Can't do everything for themselves. In comes the energy of the mother, whether it's a literal mother, right? It could be anybody. It could be a father. It could be any caring person, right? It's the energy of caring. But traditionally, it's associated with the mother because of the mother's traditional role raising children. But it can be anyone who's caring toward someone who is needy or unable to do everything independently or needs protection. So we have the energy of the baby, the child, and this image of the child who's fallen down in the playground, skins their knee or scrapes their knee, right? The mother who's caring for the child, or whoever it is caring for the child, knows that they cannot undo the harm that has been done, right? That's a perfect example, that upset, right? That injustice of falling down and hurting yourself. We've all experienced it. It is the energy of Aquarius. It's like something unexpected happens. It shakes us up, it throws us off. And then in comes the mother or the caring person, scoops up the child, holds the child, while they what? They cry, they process, they feel things. They need the safety and protection of that mother energy to hold them while they move the energy through their body. And you know what I'm talking about if you have ever held a child who fell down and hurt themselves. They are doing it, right? They're doing their own healing. They're moving the energy. They have to express, they have to emote, they have to feel, they have to shake, cry, laugh, whatever it is, right? They have to move that energy through their body. That is what we do when the moon is in Cancer. We have to process things. We have to move the energy through our body. We have to release the upset. We have to release the feeling of injustice, of instability, of things not going the way we expected. And we have to feel that in order to move it through our bodies. So that is the balance that we have with the moon in Cancer. So today and tomorrow and into Wednesday as well, we will have that Cancer moon energy and the need to feel things, the need to process our feelings, to process our emotions, to shake it off, to allow ourselves to be sensitive, because it is in that sensitivity that we are moving energy that allows us to let go of the feeling of needing to identify with the hurt or the injustice, right? We can let it go so we can move on, so we can get back to playing at the playground and bounce back into life. So that's the Cancer moon. The sun is also in Pisces, also a water sign. We're feeling things. Pisces is also a very sensitive vibe. The vibe of interconnectedness, feeling the suffering of the world, feeling the fact that we are not separate from all that is, from our fellow beings. And so in other words, with the water, sun and moon today and tomorrow, we need to care for ourselves, honor our process, attend to our needs, because it helps us move energy through our bodies so we can bounce back and do what it is we're here to do. And then later in the week, when the moon goes into Leo, we're going to move that energy outward in the form of self-expression, shining our light, and being seen and heard. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I am Marina Orms, and you can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. Go check out my new website if you haven't yet. Lots of different ways to work with me. It's pretty cool to see all the different things that astrology can help you with. So check it out. Again, Marina Orms and astrologyheals.com. Thank you so much for subscribing to this YouTube channel and supporting my work. And thanks for being here. I will see you next time.